Hi, this is the fourth video for practice paper 2. We're going to look at question number 4 for the Tupton Hall School paper that I've made. This is aimed at Core 1, suitable for AQA, but other exam boards as well. None of the questions I think on this paper have come from AQA. They've come from a variety of sources, but it's following the AQA scheme of work and specification. For any more information, you can contact me on Twitter at Mr_G_Walton or our school account at Tupton Maths. So this question is asking us about some sort of polynomial. It says sketch on the same diagram the graphs of y equals x minus 5 and x minus 1 all squared, and another graph y equals 8 minus 2x. Label on your diagram the coordinates of any points where each graph meets the coordinate axes. Okay, so we've got a few things that we need to do here. First of all, let's think about our first equation, this one here. So y equals x minus 5, x minus 1 squared. I'm hoping you've seen these sorts of things before, and this is what's called a repeated factor, a repeated root. So if we were to write this out in full, what we've actually got for the first equation is y equals x minus 5, x minus 1, and another x minus 1. Now if you were to multiply all this out, I'm hoping you can see we're going to get a cubic, and it's going to be a positive cubic. And again, we know that cubics take a general kind of form like this over here. Okay, now let's see what we know. Well, we also know the points of intersection of the x-axis. That's what happens here. So we're going to have an intersection at 5, and we're also going to have an intersection at 1. And this one, because it appears more than once over here, it's what's called a repeated root. And it's one of those where the graph comes up, it just touches here, and then goes back down and up through here. Now, it would be also useful because it also says label on your diagram the coordinates of any points where each graph must touch the coordinate axes. It would be well worth us thinking about what the value is on the y-axis as well for this. So if I multiply minus 5 by minus 1, I get positive 5, multiplied by minus 1 again, I'm going to get minus 5. So I also know that my graph is going to cross at minus 5 down here. Okay, excuse me. Let's have a little go at sketching this out then. Oh, okay, so we need to make sure it comes up through negative 5 down here. And we're just going to touch the x-axis. We're going to come back down, and then we're going to go back up, something like this. And let's label this one. So this is y equals x minus 5, x minus 1, all squared. Okay, let's have a go at doing the other one now. I'm going to change colours so we can do this in a little bit more detail. Y equals 8 minus 2x. So that means we're going to cross the y-axis at positive 8. Okay, so which I'm going to say is up here. So here's positive 8. And what else do we need to do? It's a negative gradient. It's a straight line. It's a negative gradient. Shall we see if we can work out where it's going to cross the x-axis as well? The x-axis is also known as y equals 0. So it's worth just jotting these down as you go along. Y-axis also known as x equals 0. That might help us. If y was 0, what value of x do we need here to make this 0? Well, that'd have to be 4. So that means it's going to be somewhere over here. So let's just jot that on as well. So that's 4. And what we're aiming for now is a nice straight line. You would use a ruler to do this. I'm not sure that my technology is going to allow me to do that, but let's see if I can draw a straight line, at least going through this point and that point. So it's going to go something like that. Okay, and this is my graph, y equals 8 minus 2x. Now, I should be able to see quite clearly on here that there is only one place that this crosses, I think it asks us this in the next part, I can also see quite clearly where it lies. And I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but just bear this in mind for when I go on to the next slide. Let's just check before we do anything else, have I done what it's asked for? Sketch on the same diagram the graphs of y equals x minus 5, x minus 1 squared. I've done that, that's nice cubic, which I've done in blue. And the graph y equals 8 minus 2x, which is this linear graph here. Label on your diagram the coordinates of any points where each graph meets the coordinate axis. The coordinates. Now I haven't actually put the coordinates on, I've just labelled these values here, but they're on the coordinate axis. I think that would be fine. Let's just see if there's anything else we can do. Let's just put 0 on here as well, just for neatness. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Let's move on. Explain how your diagram shows there's only one solution, alpha, to the equation. Okay, well, for part B, there is only one point of intersection between both curves. Okay. And for part C, state the integer n such that alpha lies between n and n plus 1. Well, the alpha, we could see that it was somewhere in between 4 and 5. So alpha would lie between 4 and 5, and in this case, if we're looking at the notation, n would have to be 4. So therefore, n is 4. Okay, not too bad for parts B and C. Part A took a little bit more work. So when we're sketching polynomials, make sure that as ever you're reading the question really carefully. Label clearly where the curve crosses the axis, so make it really obvious. And if you have to do it more than once, just do it lightly in pencil first. Here's a quick tip for you. If you are right-handed, it's sometimes easier to start at the right hand side of the page when you're sketching your polynomial. Now again, if I'm going to try and do this going through these 3 points here, it's easier if I start on the right hand side. I can kind of see where I'm going like that, whereas if I start on the left and work my way right, I'm kind of covering myself with my hand. If you're left-handed, start at the left. That would be my top tip for this video. Okay, as ever, good luck with any exams. If you need anything, get in touch. Bye!